Hey, what's going on YouTube? Megatech here, and we are about to do PSBL Week 2 analysis and recap for the replay against Poke Ranger Cody. And so I'm just about to show you his team. So, as you can see, a decently amount of threatening Pokemon, like the Volcarona is kind of scary, Salamence and Necrozma is kind of scary. The biggest thing I'm worried about on his team is the threat of Trick Room with Necrozma and Slowbro, and the Mence and the Volcarona potentially setting up and sweeping me. Everything else is really a non-factor, so that's what my mindset was when I decided to prep for him. So looking at my team, the Zapdos and the Sceptile I'll show you are probably going to be my dedicated leads, unless I see probably Fortress, then I'll probably lead with Heatran, Fortress or Doublade. But Zapdos here, we get the Discharge with the combination with the Mega Sceptile, so I can get the Lightning Rod boost. And the Hidden Power Rock is if he leads with the Volcarona and the Oricorio trying to set up multiple Quiver Dances on me. I can Hidden Power Rock Volcarona after maybe a Tailwind and start discharging with Mega Sceptile and KO it easily. And with these two leads, I can easily set up Tailwind on his team. Looking at his team, he doesn't really have anything to knock out Zapdos from full. So I have the High Papa Berry for longevity and the Protect, obviously. So now going over the Sceptile, it's just your standard Mega Sceptile with D-Pulse, Energy Ball for the Slowbro and D-Pulse for the Mence, and hits everything neutrally besides the two Steals. And then I have Rock Slide, just in case, like I said, he leads with like any combination of Salamence, Volcarona, or like Necrozma Salamence or Necrozma Volcarona, or maybe Oricorio Volcarona. If he leads with Oricorio Volcarona or something like that, I can definitely do some good damage with that Rock Slide, as 110 base attack is nothing to laugh at. So then I have the Heatran here. An Air Balloon Heatran, so that the Gliscor doesn't hit me with Earthquakes, or any of these Pokemon like Mence hits me with can have Earthquake. Volcarona might have HP Ground because he knows that Heatran is a complete counter to Volcarona otherwise, unless it does have HP Ground. So I have Air Balloon for that. I also have Stealth Rocks to damage Volcarona and Mence for huge damage, because these Necrozma, Salamence, and Volcarona are really the only Pokemon I'm worried about. So I have the Rocks to chip them down. I also have the Taunt. Now Taunt is very important because I'm expecting him to bring Trick Room, and so Taunt is definitely for the Slowbro and the Necrozma. So because I'm bringing multiple Tailwind Pokemon, so it doesn't screw me over. Even if he does set up Tailwind, or excuse me, Trick Room, I have ways to get around it. But like if he leads with one of his Trick Room Pokemon with my Zapdos and Sceptile, I can double target it and Slowbro will die, and double target it and Necrozma will die. And even if they switch out, I can start discharging, setting up my own Tailwind, and putting massive pressure on them. And with the Heatran out, I can taunt them, and I'll just keep up momentum throughout the game. So next mon is Drifblim with the Misty Seed because I have the Tapu Fini again. Shadow Ball for stab, Tailwind of course, and Haze is very important because if any of these Pokemon Salamence or Volcarona or even Oricorio start setting up on me, I can just haze them with the massive speed I have when the Misty Seed pops. And even after a +1, without even the Tailwind up, I can just outspeed Volcarona and click the haze on it. and stop it from sweeping. And then at top of Vini, I'm expecting this Pokemon to do massive work on his team because under a Tailwind, offensive Modest Fini with Life Orb destroys his team with Muddy Water, Ice Beam, Moonblast. Yeah, just absolutely decimates his team because his Steels aren't really threatening to me, his Venusaur isn't really threatening, and Muddy Water and Ice Beam hit these Pokemon for massive damage, as well as Moonblast. And then the last Pokemon is Banded Dragonite. In case Fini and Sceptile go down under, I have another offensive Pokemon to deal with all of his threats. The Rock Slide for the Volcarona and the Salamence, the Dragon Claw for direct damage to the Ments, Thunder Punch for the Slowbro, and Extreme Speed for priority in case he does set up Trick Room. So that was the team. Let's go to the replay and see what had happened. And looking at his team, pretty much exactly what I expected. I thought he would probably bring, he had a chance to bring Raichu for the Fake Out or the Fortress for Hazards, but these are pretty much the mons that I was expecting. So going into this, like I said, I'm going to lead with Zapdos and Sceptile, as he leads with Slowbro and Oricorio. So I see the Slowbro lead, and I'm thinking Trick Room, and I definitely want to double attack it. And so, and the Oricorio isn't really a threat because there's no Pokemon on the field that get, or on his side of the field that get any set up dance moves. And so, I try to double attack the Slowbro with both of my Pokemon as I discharge and Energy Ball it. As he switches to Ment, and which is fine. I get my special attack boost, and the way he switched into Ment like that makes me think it might be Scarfed. And so just in case he's Scarfed, I'm going to protect my Sceptile and Tailwind with my Zapdos, so I can outspeed next turn to kill it with the Dragon Pulse from the Sceptile, which is what I'm going to do, as he switches into Gliscor and Necrozma. Interesting play, but like I said, Necrozma with the Trick Room is a threat, so I'm definitely going to attack it with the Mega Sceptile because I already have the +1 boost. And Zapdos with its Discharge and Hidden Power Rock isn't really doing anything after it sets up the Tailwind, so I'm going to switch it out into my Heatran as I get as much damage as possible on the Necrozma, expecting the Trick Room as he Stone Edges my Zapdos, which pops my Air Balloon on Heatran, and any Photon Geysers, which is interesting. I definitely can live one of those. Maybe if it was the Photon Geyser, I'd definitely die. But I just wanted to get really massive damage before he could possibly set up the Trick Room and get my rocks up with Heatran. And so I don't see the Trick Room, which means next turn I could threaten Necrozma and set up rocks with my Heatran. But just in case, this next turn I'm just going to set up my rocks for the Volcarona and the Salamence and just safely protect with the Sceptile. I could have easily Energy Balled there, but I don't think Energy Ball would have killed Gliscor, and I didn't want to risk it. And so I just safely protected there, because next turn I could easily just double attack, and then it'll guarantee KOs as a KO on Gliscor. As he switches into Oricorio and then switches back into Slowbro as I Dragon Pulse the Oricorio, because I don't really want to switch into anything right now. My Sceptile is putting in massive dents to his team, and so that's all I really want. As I taunt the Gliscor slot, trying to prevent rocks, but he switches into Slowbro, which is fantastic, so that worked out. And he takes out my Sceptile, which is fine because Sceptile really dented his team under the Tailwind. And now go into Drifblim, and I have the rock set up, and all I really need is to get damage on this Slowbro, and then I can have my Tapu Fini in and clean up his team. And so go to Drifblim, then go into Tapu Fini to activate the Misty Seed as I Tailwind. And I'm not threatened by anything this Mega Slowbro does, as both of these Pokemon can live anything, and anything Oricorio does as well. And so I see the Surf from the Slowbro activating an Absorb Bulb, which is interesting. Absorb Bulb. But now that the Tailwind's set up, I can put in work with my Tapu Fini as I Shadow Ball the Slowbro and then Ice Beam the Oricorio just to knock it out. As the Slowbro goes for a Shadow Ball, it's on a weapon, which is fine. I already set up the Tailwind with Drifblim. I already put Slowbro very, very low as he goes into Volcarona. And after that Rocks damage, that Muddy Water is definitely going to KO it as he protects for one turn, which is fine as I just KO the Slowbro. And then next turn I'm just going to Muddy Water again with the Tapu Fini. Probably could have protected here with Drifblim, but just in case Muddy Water missed Volcarona, I just wanted to get it down really low. As Tailwind ends, and he goes into Immense, and my play here is definitely 100% to protect Tailwind, as he protects and KOs my Drifblim, which is fine, because I can just, even if I had, even if I just had Tapu Fini here, I probably would have won with the Muddy Water. But under Tailwind, I'll just outspeed the Immense with the Dragon Claw and kill Gliscor with the Ice Beam. So 4-0, good game to Pokeranger Cody, and that's gonna be it, guys. See you next week. Peace out.